Nifemi Oguntoye with the CoreTV News this hour, and here are the stories we're tracking now. Suspected Boko Haram members have invaded Kukua, a historic town in Borno State. 3 persons were said to have been killed, while some public buildings were reportedly burnt in Kukua, one of the most popular towns in the history of the Kanuris. Among the buildings set ablaze include the headquarters of Kukua local government area, a police station, government lodge, among others. A resident of the town who called to tell journalists in Maiduguri said the insurgents stormed the town in several Hilux vehicles and motorcycles, where they attacked the police station with rocket-propelled grenade and guns. Also raised by the terrorists were private houses, government clinics and vehicles of the company exploring oil in the Chad Basin area. Narrating the incident, he said the insurgents laid siege to the town at about 4 a.m. and had a field day till about 10 p.m. on Monday. The caretaker chairman of Kukua local government area, Modu Musa, confirmed the attack. Meanwhile, President Goodluck Jonathan on Tuesday received security briefing on the status of the ceasefire agreement with Boko Haram. All the country's top security personnel attended the meeting that lasted about 2 hours at the presidential villa in Abuja. Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice Mohammed Adoke told journalists that the service chiefs briefed the president about ongoing negotiations over the 200 schoolgirls abducted in Chibok, Borno State. He insisted that government negotiators are still talking with representatives of the insurgent group. But Chief of Defense Staff Alex Bade brushed off attempts to get his views on the truce.
I'm looking for umbrella. The other day you said umbrellas. No, you see, I don't like talking because you are not addressing issues. You are addressing personalities. That's why it's very difficult for me to talk.
Inspector General Felice Sulaiman Abba says about 30 of his men who were declared missing after insurgents attacked the mobile police training school in Gwaza are yet to be found. He noted that some of the police personnel have since been reunited with their families, while expressing confidence that the others are still alive. Abba spoke on the sidelines of the security meeting in Abuja.
Of the international community, in particular, the federal government and the state governments in general, to the inhuman situation people of the northeastern states of Adamawa, Yobe and Borno are finding life almost impossible to exercise. Mr. President, as I speak to you, we have over 2 million internally displaced persons from Adamawa, Borno, and Yobe. These internally displaced persons have found refuge in Bauchi, in Jigawa, and in Benue and Taraba states.
On one side, by Boko Haram, this harassment results in the internal displacement of persons. They are deprived of their routine. They are deprived of their livelihood, and they become displaced persons even in their own country. In that kind of dire situation, Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, the least that humanity can do for these people, and when I say humanity either as country or humanity as international community, is for us to ameliorate their situation.
The local government with over 200,000 too is under siege. Mr. President, we are displaced. Not only displaced, we are in disarray.
Greed is no more an internal internal crisis. It's a proper full-scale war, and we shouldn't leave out any aspect of the planning. We have National Commission for Refugees. I was just looking through the functions now, and one of the functions is to look after displaced persons from any war situation. We also have National Commission for Rehabilitation, which has, and again, another similar commission, almost the same sentence. That these two commissions are not working sufficiently or well enough for us to get to where we are now is what baffles me. I simply have no explanation, and I can't understand what the problem is.
The precedent you just saw is that of the Senate, where they decided to donate 20 million naira to alleviate the plight of over 2 million people who have been forced to flee their homes in northeast Nigeria by Boko Haram. And this happened after it emerged that millions of internally displaced persons are now taking refuge in Bauchi, Jigawa, Benue, and Taraba states. The Deputy Senate Leader Abdul Ningi raised the motion that elicited response from his colleagues. Now back to our earlier report, we met with the Inspector General of Police Abba Sulaiman, who spoke, Abubakar Sulaiman rather, who spoke on the sidelines of the security meeting in Abuja as regards 30 of his men who were declared missing after insurgents attacked the mobile police training school in Gwaza and who are still yet to be found.
Even last week, we were able to identify that one of the missing officers in Goza had gone back to his base this time around. So there can still be some that are in their homes, perhaps refusing for anyone to even report that they are around because of the trauma they went through, or they could still be in amongst the families in some of the villages around there. It still remains our hope that they are alive and they will come out alive.
How many people are we talking about now? How many policemen are we talking about?
We still talk about 30, yes. Still talk about
30 still missing, sir?
About 30, yes.
The Speaker of the House of Representatives, Aminu Tambuwal, has formally dumped the People's Democratic Party for the All Progressives Congress. He made the move just before the end of Tuesday's plenary on the floor. Tambuwal hinged his decision on his political future as APC members hailed the defection as a major coup. Pel Samuel now reports.
It was one of the worst-kept political secrets. This is because Speaker Tambuwal had long steered clear of PDP activities and was known to be closer to members of the opposition party. So when he finally decided to dump the ruling party, only a few lawmakers were in the chamber, but this did not deter him from making his intention known.
That pursuant to extant provisions of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and having regards to the development in my home state, Sokoto State, I wish to hereby formally notify all of you of my membership of the All Progressive Congress.
And having snapped up a major political figure, it was jubilation time for members of the APC caucus in the House of Representatives. They then followed it up with a press briefing addressed by the minority leader, who insists that Tambuwal will retain his seat in spite of leaving PDP.
We welcome and applaud the Speaker's decision. Ever since this crisis started in PDP, which led to the formation of the new PDP and the defection of the 5 PDP governors and 37 PDP members of the House of Representatives to the APC, and the formal merger of the new PDP with the APC, we had all along known and hoped that this day would come. We are proud to acknowledge that the Speaker remains not only a member of the House of Representatives, but also its Speaker.
Some APC members also spoke to CoreTV News on their expectations now that they have the Speaker in their midst.
This defection does not change the position of the Speakership of the House, not in its entirety. I know the PDP as a party has the chance of asking that he should leave the seat, he should vacate the seat, because the seat is a PDP seat, fine. But if he vacates as a speaker, then the House, it's not the PDP that's going to pick the speaker for us. It's the members of the House that will pick the speaker. And there's no rule, not in the Constitution, not in our rule book, that says the speaker has to come from the majority, you know, the party with the majority of members.
First of all, we are all playing politics. Politics is local. The entire members in his state are APC. And if his people says that if you want to come back or you want to aspire to be anything, you have to join the party that his people want. And I think he has just exercised his own constitutional right by obeying the aspirations of his people in his constituency.
There are a lot of members that believe in the cause that Honorable Tambuwal stands for. There are a lot of members in PDP. So it's not as if we will just wake up when we resume and try to remove our speaker. I don't believe in that, and I'm sure a lot of members stands from PDP believe in what I'm just telling you.
The House has now adjourned till December 3, 2014 to ostensibly allow members engage in committee sessions, even though there are raised eyebrows over the timing. Pius Samuel, CoreTV News, Abuja.
Meanwhile, the People's Democratic Party expects Speaker Aminu Tambuwal to resign now that he has joined the APC. This decision was taken after the PDP leadership met the leaders of the party's caucus in the House of Representatives. PDP spokesman Olisa Metu said in a statement after the meeting that the Speaker can no longer retain a seat since his party is in the minority. This, according to the ruling party, is because he was elected to the position of Speaker of the House of Representatives as a result of his membership of the PDP. Kano State Governor Rabiu Kwankwaso has formally joined the race for the presidential ticket of the All Progressives Congress. He declared his intention public at a rally attended by tens of thousands of people in Abuja. Speaking at the event, Governor Kwankwaso said his first priority, if elected president, is to introduce a robust strategy to curb insecurity in the land.
From the north to the south, party members and leaders have gathered here to show support for a man they describe as the right candidate to occupy the presidential villa. The crowd was in a good mood and chanted slogans freely. And when it was time for speeches, APC leaders reeled out areas and issues that they say the ruling party has failed to tackle. They insist that the PDP-led administration lacks worthwhile plans for Nigeria's progress. Then it was time for Governor Rabiu Kwankwaso to speak. Declaring his desire to seek the party's presidential ticket, Kwankwaso presented his plans for Nigeria, especially in tackling insecurity.
Lives and properties of Palestinians must be protected and secured. All forms of insurgency must be defeated. As a government, we cannot afford to live in blind. Insecurity is escalating at an alarming rate. Meeting one man, bring targeted cycles, and taking over cities and towns in the conflict. My experiences, every Nigeria is the most political, and a special advisor on wartime Africa and Somalia has shown me that securing a nation and fighting and of course defeating armed insurgents is only achievable if the forces are professionally mobilized.
He also promised to revamp the economy within the first 3 years in office, if voted into power.
This is our vision for Nigeria. Our plan for Nigeria is to gradually achieve a budget capital to the current ratio at least 70 to 30% within our first 3 years in office. We will cut the cost of running government and eliminate all forms of wastages like we have done in Canada. It is possible. It is achievable.
The Kano State Governor is the third member of the opposition to declare his intention to seek APC presidential ticket. And with only a few weeks to the party's primaries, political analysts expect many more declarations in the coming days. And although the specter of consensus arrangement still hangs in the air, it doesn't appear as if this is likely to stop interested APC members from showing interest in flying the party's flag on February 14 next year.
Members of the Presidential Committee on President Goodluck Jonathan's declaration have not yet agreed on the format for his formal declaration for re-election after a second meeting. The committee chairman, Haliru Bello, disclosed this after a second meeting at the presidential villa in Abuja. The committee has also not picked a venue because the format of the event has not been determined, but members say every other arrangement is in place.
We have set up subcommittees to do the various activities of the arrangements. We will get a copy of the subcommittees from the Secretariat. Professor Alkali will give you. The subcommittees will now make their programs based on their terms of reference. They will make the budget, and then we will start rolling. We are considering a number of venues. The nature of the organization depends, and will determine the venue. You know, there are events that are solemn, that could be done in a room, like a meeting. There are events that require razzmatazz that can be done only in an arena. We haven't decided the format yet.
We have broken into committees. Each committee has a specific responsibility to perform that will be in the overall interest of what you have in mind, and that is successful declaration of the president. So we're in committees. Well, every person can say anything. You can advise somebody. It's left for that person to take the advice or not. That's a personal advice. But the majority advice is that the president should contest. And that is where we stand.
Another landmark step has been taken in the ongoing amendment of the 1999 Constitution. Find out more of that and other stories after this timeout. Don't go away.
Glad to have you join us on another edition of The Political Arena, the most detailed and incisive political show.
If you are a sitting governor and the opposition is able to stomach structure against you, that means you are wicked to the people.
Until the end of our time as the legitimate authority to govern this country.
Give me 20 minutes to move or they will shoot me.
He has no chance for survival. If he likes himself, this is the best time to get out before he perishes.
The PDP as a ruling party has failed.
So anybody who thinks that government will fold his hands and allow miscreants to take over the streets of our own state and cause havoc is deceiving himself.
The good, bad, ugly and beautiful sides of the Nigerian political system. Join me every Sunday at 9:15 p.m. on CoreTV News.
Welcome back. You can also access all of the news items on any of the social media platforms. On Facebook, it's facebook.com/CoreTVNews. And our Twitter handle is at CoreTVNews. And you can watch our news and other of our programs on YouTube. It's youtube.com/CoreTV Liver Space and News. The National Assembly has handed over the Constitution Amendment Bill to state houses of assembly for further legislative action. Deputy Senate President and Chairman of the Senate Committee on Constitutional Review, Ike Kwerimadu, made the presentation at an event also attended by Speaker of the House of Representatives, Aminu Tambuwal. The leadership of the National Assembly seized the opportunity to state that the outcome of the recent exercise is a reflection of the will of the Nigerian people. They also urged the state legislators to be guided by national interest in voting on the amendments.
Based on public support, our citizens are less inclined to support a constitution without their input. By involving citizens in the constitutional review process, the legislature has indeed made a huge stride in rekindling the sense of optimism and inclusivity. It is our conviction that this people-centered amendment will make Nigerians feel vested in their government.
During the last exercise, the National Assembly came up with very important proposals that are aimed at deepening our democracy. And one of those proposals was the independence, financial autonomy of the state legislature. Unfortunately, that was truncated by the state legislature itself. It has been reintroduced, and several other innovative provisions have been reintroduced in the current amendment. We believe and hope that you will use your good offices and try as much as possible to resist certain influences and do the right thing by passing into law these important provisions into the Constitution that will not only guarantee the legislature its freedom and independence, but will ensure that you do your work soon thereafter without much let or hindrance.
However, assure Nigerians that we shall play our role to produce a constitution that will reflect the needs and yearnings of the people, devoid of fears and influences. Reference has been made to the issue of financial autonomy for states. Let me plead that we forget the past. This issue for us today remains a yes, yes, yes answer.
The Lagos Independent Electoral Commission (LASIEC) has commenced the distribution of permanent voter cards in the state. The electoral body is expected to distribute about 4.8 million permanent voter cards. The resident electoral commissioner Adekunle Ogunmola, who briefed journalists in Lagos, says the exercise will capture individual database effectively. Oluwaseyi Adegoke was there and brought back this report.
The Independent National Electoral Commission is not leaving anything to chance ahead 2015 general elections. To this end, the Lagos State Independent Electoral Commission says the data portfolios of all qualified persons will be captured correctly as required by the regulation guiding the registration.
We are going to register people at the polling unit because there will be several people that will be involved. So that is why we want to go right to their doorstep to ensure that all of them are captured. The idea behind this is that INEC wants to give everybody the opportunity of getting captured on the database correctly.
The state resident electoral commissioner also shed light on the recent addition of more polling units by INEC across the country, which has become a subject of controversy in many quarters.
The idea behind it is to ensure that people are not too distant from the polling units. The ideal thing is for us to make it a maximum of 1 kilometer in urban centers and 2 kilometers in rural areas. But now it is possible even within Lagos to have a distance of 15 kilometers.
The Commission is by this development calling on the people of the state to cooperate with its officials in the course of the exercise in order to ensure a crisis-free process ahead the 2015 general elections. Oluwaseyi Adegoke, CoreTV News, Lagos.
That wraps it this hour on CoreTV News. Do join us again at the top of the hour for more stories. I'm Nifemi Oguntoye. Thanks for being there.